Here's RebelQueen here. Okay, this is the second video I'm doing today. Uh, okay, this review may or may not surprise you guys, considering it has been no secret on this channel, considering sometimes when me and Albion have been doing game playthroughs, or even myself when I've been doing these reviews, that basically I'm a big bibliophile, and that I can get very heavy into the story on stuff and kind of go, hell, even that one time when Albion was playing through on a game, I'm like, wait a minute, based on the way this story is going, and I end up being right. So, yeah, this review is actually on a book, but based on how prevalent this movie is in a lot of in all our lives, and even in video game franchises, I don't think it'll surprise everybody. So earlier this month, this book got released. Now, I did pick up the book that weekend it got following its release, so I'm just now getting. Now, I did actually finish it like that Sunday, but I'm just now getting this review done. Now, it is Long Live the Pumpkin Queen. Yeah, the Disney Nightmare Before Christmas. So, shouldn't really surprise anybody. Because, I mean, like I said, since that movie has come out, it is basically one of the go-to light scares for Halloween, jolly for Christmas, and then, well, of course, it is like, I can't say for KH3 because I haven't actually finished playing through that yet. Me and Albion, whenever Albion can actually get back down here, I gotta finish playing through that. Because I don't have a PlayStation, the next gen PlayStation, to be able to play that. But, and after all, in Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, the Nightmare Before Christmas is one of the worlds you visit in Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. And I mean, Jack Skellington and Ragdoll Sally are pretty much known throughout our pretty much entire existence when this movie came out in the early 90s. I mean, that is like one of my, it's like one of my go-to Halloween movies, and then, of course, Christmas, when, considering it's the Nightmare Before Christmas. Heck, even on my keychain, I have a little keychain Jack and Sally. Every time I see something and it's like Jack and Sally, I have to get both, because it's like you can't have Jack without Sally and Sally without Jack. Now, I don't know if they're going to make this book canon in the Nightmare Before Christmas story, because now the original Nightmare Before Christmas, that was a story written by Tim Burton before they actually decided to make it into a movie. Because of timing stuff, he wasn't actually able to. Well, obviously, yeah, Tim Burton, because it's called Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas. But because of timing, he wasn't able. I think he might have been like busy with another project at the time. He wasn't able to be as involved with the movie making at the time. I think he was only able to be like a producer or something on the movie. because he, like I said, I think he was involved like in another project or something. Might have been like either maybe one of the Batmans, Beetlejuice, or Edward Scissorhands. I don't know. But so yeah. So like I said, I don't know if they're going to make this part of the Nightmare Before Christmas official canon, because Long Live the Pumpkin Queen is written by, and forgive me if I get her name mangled, Shay Earnshaw. And she's apparently a New York Times best-selling author. So she does have some pretty good background. And the story was wonderful. I'm not going to ruin anything, but it does kind of close up some loopholes and stuff, because as we all know, the door trees, we kind of see like a little bit more of that stuff than, but with the fact that she gives us like the ancient worlds, like stuff that would lead us to like stuff having to do with like Old Man Winter, Father Time, etc., etc., that stuff. And well, we all saw how in the movie Dr. Finkelstein acted with Sally. Well, obviously, because this book is called Long Live the Pumpkin Queen. Well, this is really kind of Sally's time to shine in this book, because this book doesn't take place exactly after the movie. It kind of takes place like pretty much a year after, like it's Halloween time again. So they're getting everything ready for Halloween, and Jack and Sally actually get married. They have a one-day honeymoon, then come back, and then it's right to work on Halloween again. And then Sally is trying to pretty much fit into a mold of, okay, now she is Sally Skellington, the Pumpkin Queen. And everybody in Halloween Town is like, oh, we have a queen now! It was just a great read, and it is totally kid appropriate, because I know probably a lot of you are probably going like, okay, I have kids who love Nightmare Before Christmas. Is this going to be a safe thing for kids to read? Don't worry, it is. In fact, I'm kind of not sure if I should read the first chapter out here or not, but oh well, considering I know a lot of people do stuff like that, let me do that for you. Okay, well, this is the prologue, so at the crisp, inky hour of midnight, Jack and I are married atop Spiral Hill at the Death Store Cemetery. Wind stirs the bone-dry leaves, and Jack takes my soft rag-doll hands in his, the coolness of his fingers calming the flutter rippling across my stitched seams. The mayor stands broad-chested before us, officiating the ceremony, his face alternating between corkscrew-eyed elation and pale, ghastly tears, while we speak our vows to each other in the grim custom of ancient wedding eulogies. The moon is a bloody red in the sky, a good omen, and a wilted oleander flower plucked from a patch of poison ivy at the far end of Halloween Town is tucked just behind my left ear, a custom that ensures a long, dreadful eye. I squeeze Jack's hands tighter, his black tuxedo tails sway in the cold night air, while my dress, stitched from a scrap of black spinster lace, sewing myself the night before, billows like a ghost in the breeze. Cautiously, my gaze flicks to the crowd, where I can feel the cold, spiteful gaze of Dr. Finkelstein watching me from the front row, mouth quivering with fury now that I am finally escaping him once and for all. I am no longer your creation, I think, words knitted in my chest. It seems unimaginable that barely a year ago I feared I might spend my life trapped in Dr. Finkelstein's lab, fated to only ever watch Jack from afar, loving him, but certain he would never know the ache I felt whenever he looked my way. But after Jack tried to steal Christmas from Santa Claus, after he nearly died venturing to the human world to deliver our grim presents on Christmas Eve, with Zero leading his sleigh of skeleton reindeer, a plan I sensed was doomed from the start, I knew I couldn't spend my life without him. I knew I wouldn't waste another night. Under a dark snow-flecked sky, Jack and I walked out to the cemetery, his moon-hollow eyes sinking into mine. And at last, after a lifetime of loving him from afar, my ragdoll heart aching to know what it would feel like if he ever loved me back, we shared our first kiss on the crest of Spiral Hill, the same place where we now stand, hand in hand. The mayor's face bends back around to reveal his wide, toothy grin, his black widow bow tie eerily shiny in the moonlight, and he announces Jack and me as husband and wife, a voice bellowing over the crowd. Jack leans forward, eyes damp at the edges, and presses his grave, cold mouth to mine. And my seams feel like they're going to fray and burst, like they can't contain the swollen, chest-widening feeling rupturing through me. A feeling so strange and unknown and peculiar that it makes me dizzy, makes my head swim, my legs teeter. Jack and I are married. He wipes away the tear streaming down my cotton cheekbone to my chin and looks at me like his own chest is about to fracture. And for a moment, I'm certain they should just bury us both here, at the center of the graveyard, married and died on the same day, unable to contain the unspeakable, awful, wondrous emotion breaking against our eyelids. The dreadful residents of Halloween Town applaud, tossing tiny dwarf spiders at our feet as we leave the cemetery, and the warmth in my chest feels like bats clamoring for a way out of my ribcage, trying to break me apart. I am now Sally Skellington, the Pumpkin Queen, and I'm certain I will never again be as happy as I am right now. So yeah, that was the prologue. I hope I did that justice. But yeah, it was a good, like I said, it was a good story, and it really did. Like I said, I don't know if it's going to be considered canon in the Nightmare Before Christmas story, a whole story, but it was good, and it did kind of close some little loopholes that from the original movie stuff that kind of was out there. But we can only wait and see to see how it kind of goes. Who knows? Maybe after they see how well this does on the shelves, who knows? We may get a sequel movie. But for one, I enjoyed it. I can only hope, and we can only hope and see how things go. And as you can tell just from like that prologue, again, Miss Earnshaw, she definitely understood the characters and stuff just from that prologue, and her imagery was really spot on. So it's like I really have to give her props. So much so that I haven't done it yet, but I'm definitely going to look up some of her other stuff to see if it, I have my particular genre of stuff I like to really stay to, so it was like, but depending on like what all else she has written, if it kind of really does catch my interest, I'm definitely going to check out her other stuff. But for the book itself, trying to stay away from the fact that I am a Nightmare Before Christmas fan. I would say a 9. And if any of you are a fan of Miss Earnshaw, like I said, I'm trying to stay away from the fact that I'm a Nightmare Before Christmas fan. I think this is a fair rating because one, trying to stay away from the fact that yes, Nightmare Before Christmas fan. I have not read any of her other books, so I can't compare to like anything else she has done. But it was an enjoyable read, and again, I cannot stress, do not know if this is going to be canon or not in the Nightmare Before Christmas universe. So if you pick this up, don't go, oh, blah, 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 about how things go in this book, because we don't know if they're going to like add this into the Nightmare Before Christmas canon yet. I just found the way she took it and ran with it from what we do know of the characters and story from the movie and like the little bit from Tim Burton's original story. It was good. It was interesting. Like I said, she really ran with it and it was good. But again, we don't know if they are going to consider this canon yet. Now, if they decide to go, it is good enough to go forth and, after all these years, make a second Nightmare Before Christmas movie using this as the base, then yes, we know they have considered this canon now. Or they decide to make an announcement going, this book is considered canon. But at this point, we don't know. And other news regarding this, regarding the channel, in a few weeks, I can give you guys the review for Kamen Rider Revice. It's winding down, so, which means in a few weeks more, the 5 episodes so far for the next Kamen Rider series, which, from the info that's kind of been gleaned already for that one's kind of sounding like sounds a little bit like Kamen Rider Gaim. But I will have more info for you that one when I do the overall review for Kamen Rider Revice. But anyway, I hope you guys are staying safe out there. We're still kind of under COVID watch for a lot of areas. If you live here in Texas, be careful. We are pretty much having heat issues. Just be safe, and if you have animals that need to be walked, do it before it gets hot enough to where they burn their feet. Be a responsible pet owner. But anyway, this is RebelQueen signing off.